What say you, Kurt?
I think that we have no business at this moment in time getting involved in any type of military conflict in the Middle East. We just barely have extricated ourselves from what began in the aftermath of 9/11. We have shown over and over again that we are woefully inadequate on this front. That the happy talk that I hear from Mogulin that, oh, we're just going to do some precise strikes, get out, and it'll be all fine. Like that is just
Never heard that
uh,
before.
our history completely betrays that fanciful, notion that whatever we do from a military standpoint will not have long-term, long-lasting implications. Um, we don't know what we're doing, and we don't have a plan, and we certainly don't have a realistic plan that the American people would buy off on that would keep us. Um, engaged over a long period of time. That is not what the bill of goods that the American people bought off on in November, at least when they voted. It was a promise to not be involved in major military conflicts. In fact, that we would have peace everywhere, and every conflict would end, and everyone would be too scared of Donald Trump to even instigate any type of conflict. And we're seeing quite the opposite right now. The world before our very eyes is becoming more volatile, more violent, and there's kind of a zero sum game being played out right now. And if we get drawn into that and provide military support, provide military assets, military aircraft, weapons, we are, whether we say it or not overtly, engaging in warfare. And I just don't think the appetite exists right now for the American people, while they look at gas prices will be going up, when they look at the cost of goods and services have gone up in the wake of tariffs, when they look at the economic uncertainty surrounding just everything going on here at home, I don't think the appetite is there to be the world's policeman in any way. Even if it is, right, yes, we should take out Iran's nuclear capabilities. Even if you agree with that premise, I don't think that the appetite exists right now with the current condition of our country when they see chaos unfolding every time they turn on TV, whether it's through tariffs, whether it's through the immigration rates going on right now. Obviously, our standing amongst the global community is up and down as this country has been up and down with our policies and the inconsistencies. It's like I can't think of a worse time right now for us
No.
to begin to engage in any type of military conflict when there's so much unrest and instability going on just in our own backyard.
I think that does prove the point. Then we should do the same for Ukraine. Like we shouldn't be if we don't do it for Israel, then we shouldn't do it for Ukraine. I mean, it's the same conversation. I think is what you're saying is the country doesn't want to be involved in any more wars. Hence Ukraine when the election was happening. So stay out of this one as well.
Well,
There's an argument. My thing always is my training in national security and stuff that I knew that the rest of the world didn't know. And when people like us were out there talking about, post 9/11 stuff, and I was like, they don't have no idea what they're talking about because they don't have the intelligence that I do. I just don't know what that is. What do they know that we don't?
well, I think it's important to say that Iran and Ukraine are apples and oranges in the sense that we do have a very strategic interest in making sure that Putin fails in Ukraine, because if he succeeds in Ukraine, he's not going to stop. I think people both inside his world and outside of his world will conclude that. And what we've done so far very well is we've been able to finance their defense, though Biden talked about things, but he pussyfooted getting them a lot of weapons when he should have. But putting that aside, I think we've done overall a pretty good job. I'd give us a B plus in terms of being able to fund them. And Putin's also made some mistakes, and Ukraine has proved much more resilient. But Iran is a different animal. Obviously, we're worried about unrest in the Middle East, but going along with what you say, what worries me is that it just takes one stray missile that hits something close to U.S. troops or anything that's considered aggressive towards us, and then we're sucked in. And that to me is the real danger. I think that has a much smaller chance of happening in Ukraine than it does in Iran.
I agree with that for sure.
So I
Yeah,
think
I mean, this thing is like right at the point of a spark. Like if there's one spark,
Yep.
it's going to be utter chaos.
that's
I
always
also got to say, like, I am deeply concerned about the prospect of this president in any way assuming wartime powers. I look at the way that he's using the office right now, um, to impose his will and to deploy military assets on American soil. It's like you make him a wartime president. I promise you, I guarantee you, he will not leave office in 2028 if we are in quote a war of any kind.